Welcome, dear students. I am Rajiv Lohani, and today I am presenting you a very important topic in physics called the error analysis. The error analysis becomes important particularly when we are performing experiments. What do we do in an experiment? We either measure the value of a given physical quantity using some devices and instruments, or we verify some laws of physics that exist in the nature using the devices and instruments. What we observe while doing experiment is that we do not get the results as they are expected. As for example, you know that the standard value of the acceleration due to gravity, which I will denote it by the letter G and suffix A, is 9.8 meter per second square. If you are given the task of finding out the value of G in laboratory using a simple pendulum and a stopwatch, then you use this formula T equal to 2 pi into square root of L upon G, where T is the time period of the simple pendulum, which you can measure using the stopwatch, and L is the length of the simple pendulum, which you can measure using the meter scale. Putting the values of L and T, we can get the value of G. And we will find that the measured value Gm most often differs from what we expect it to be. That is, we do not get Gm equal to 9.8 meter per second square every time. Sometimes we may get it as 9.8 meter per second square, but this is a rare case. So we suppose get Gm equal to 9.7 meter per second square. Then you see there is a deviation of the measured value from its standard value. That is, in other words, we have committed the error in measuring the value of acceleration due to gravity. In the same way, when we are doing experiments in determining some other values, we will commit mistakes. To analyze these errors that we are committing is the error analysis. Let us now first discuss the classification of errors. Errors are categorized as number 1, systematic errors, number 2, random errors. The systematic errors are those errors the cause of which is known to us. For example, if I have a meter scale in my hands which is broken at one end, and I hand over that meter scale to some person who does not know that it is broken, and if he measures the length with the help of such a meter scale, he is certainly going to commit mistakes because he thinks it is 100 centimeter in length. So error will occur, but we know the cause of the error that has occurred. So we will remove the error by adjusting the value from where the meter scale is broken. In the same way, we may commit some errors because of our lack of knowledge about an instrument or a device. Such error can also be removed or minimized by making use of the proper knowledge. The other error that occurs is the random error, the cause of which is not known to us. such errors occur randomly, and we cannot minimize it by removing the cause of such errors because you do not know the cause. So in order to minimize such errors, what we do is that we take more and more observations, and ultimately we take the mean of all the observations, and that mean is the nearest to the correct value of the given physical quantity. Now I will discuss some terms related to the error analysis. The first term is the absolute error. Absolute error is the actual difference between the standard value of the given physical quantity and the measured value. If X is a physical quantity, its standard value is XA, and I measure it to be XM, then the absolute error that is committed in measuring this quantity is denoted by delta X, and this is equal to the difference between the standard value and the measured value. So delta X equal to XA minus XM. For example, if G actually is 9.8 meter per second square and I measure it to be 9.7 meter per second square, then the absolute error committed in measuring the value of acceleration due to gravity, delta G, is GA minus GM, that is 0.1 meter per second square. You can see that the absolute error has the unit of the given physical quantity. The other term related to the error analysis is the relative error. The relative error is the ratio of absolute error to the standard value of the physical quantity. So if I take the previous example, we had delta G equal to 0.1 meter per second square, and the actual value of G is 9.8 meter per second square. So the relative error that has occurred here is delta G upon GA equal to 0.1 upon 9.8 or 1 upon 98. It will have no unit because it is the ratio of two similar physical quantities. The next term is the percentage error, which is most commonly used when we do the experiments. Percentage error is defined as mathematically the ratio of absolute error to the standard value of the given physical quantity multiplied by 100. Here I have taken acceleration due to gravity as that physical quantity. So general expression for the percentage error is delta X upon X standard multiplied by 100. We can also say that the relative error multiplied by 100 is the percentage error. So if the relative error is 0.1, then the percentage error will be 0.1 into 100, that is 10%. After having studied certain terms related to the error analysis, we will study the propagation of error, that is how errors propagate if a physical quantity is either the sum of two quantities or the product of two quantities, and so on and so forth. For that, watch my next video. Thank you.